Hey, hi you guys, and welcome back to Through Evangelist's Eyes. Again, my name's Rod Savala, and we're going through the Bible, and we're in Leviticus right now, chapter 13. And the title of this video is Unclean. Unclean. And I'm sure you'll remember what that applies to. It was the proclamation that the person with leprosy was to shout out to the masses. He was to shout out that he was unclean, and people would stay away. They'd stay away so they didn't get infected. Check this out. Let me go to it because I love the way that God is painting us a picture about just how serious this thing called sin is. It puts you out of the camp. It puts you out of the story, the good story. Let me read. This is in Exodus chapter 13, starting right around verse 40. I'm gonna start at 44, 13:44. He is a leprous man, he is unclean. This is after the priest is inspecting this guy's wound on his head, the red or the spot on his head or on his body. He is a leprous man, he is unclean. The priest shall surely pronounce him unclean. His infection is on his head. As for the leper who has the infection, his clothes shall be torn, and the hair of his head shall be uncovered. I guess they shave his head. And he shall cover his mustache. And the guy with leprosy is to cry out, unclean, unclean. Can you imagine how that separated him? I mean, you would see this guy and you would say, get away. You would tell your children, get away from him. Don't go by that guy. You do not want to get leprosy. And isn't it interesting? It's been years, but I remember studying on leprosy, on the fact that they lose their feeling. They lose their feeling. Apparently, you could have a finger cut off and they wouldn't even know it. And isn't that true about sin? We lose our feeling. We don't care. We don't care about others. We don't care about proclaiming the gospel. We don't care about asking, does somebody know the gospel? Do you know the good news? Is there evidence in your life that you have repented, you have turned around, and you're following Jesus? The leper, now check this out. This is amazing. In chapter 14, Moses is told the procedure that the leper is he is to go to the priest regularly to get inspected. And when he is found clean, and I am doing this from memory, but as I was reading, I'm going, wow, this sure sounds like the procedure that the priests are going through when they come into their priesthood. The leper is to bring a sacrifice when he's pronounced clean. And the priests that are taking the sacrifice are to take some of that blood and put it on the leper's ear, on his thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. Do you know that's the exact part of the procedure that is done for a priest? And that's in chapter Leviticus 14. And I believe not only was God making sin visible to the naked eye, I mean, we see it. We see what sin does to man. We know what it's done to us. but he was making it visible in such a way that you said, you know what, stay away from that. And he was also showing that it could be cured. There was a cure, and we know that cure. We know that cure. His name's Jesus. So let's go make the gospel as visible to man and as audible, the good news, as the bad news was. The bad news was unclean, unclean. They were shouting it. We ought to be going, good news we have for you. Christ is risen. Okay, God bless you, and let's go make this message known about how someone can get clean. God bless you. Here we go.